Peter's Bravery. The people of Haarlem in Holland love to tell the story of Peter who saved the town and its people. Boys and girls can work for their country by being brave and true. Even a very small child can be brave. Now let's read the story about the brave boy called Peter. Peter and his little brother Hans lived in a happy home near the sea. Peter was 10 while Hans was only 5 years old. They lived with their parents. In Holland, the Great Sea is quite near the homes and the villages. The Great Sea is very strong. It can come in and spread over all the land. The men of the village made a very strong high wall to keep the Great Sea out. They didn't want the water to come into their gardens. They didn't want their houses to fall down. They worked hard and took great care of the big, strong wall. The strong high wall stopped the sea and kept the villages safe from its unending waves. Even a small hole in it would be dangerous. The sea would make it bigger, and they would have great trouble. Peter and his little brother Hans liked to run and play on the big sea wall. One afternoon, they were playing some games there. The water of the sea dashed against the wall and tried to get in. Peter knew that there was always danger of the sea spreading over the land. Peter was walking on the wall. He whistled and sang. He kicked the stones and followed the beetles. All of a sudden he stopped. He saw a little hole in the wall and the water was coming in from it. He knew that the water would make the hole big. It would get bigger and bigger, and more water would come in. Then the wall would fall down, flood the village, and destroy it. Peter looked at the sky. It was not only getting dark, but also cold. He looked at the hole and said to himself, "It's only a little hole, and I have to do something." He put his finger into it and stopped the water. Peter said to his brother, "Hans, run and look for father. Tell him to come at once. I'm keeping the water out." Hans ran as fast as he could. He met his father and said, "Father, there's a hole in the wall, and Peter has put his finger in it. He is in pain." His father called his neighbors, and they ran towards the wall. Peter kept his finger in the hole a long time. It was very cold. The icy wind bit into his little finger. The pain moved down his finger to his arm and his body. He jumped up and down, shivering and crying. Then suddenly in the cold, he saw his father and neighbors coming. Soon they came. The father took Peter's finger out of the hole. The neighbors quickly plugged the hole. They admired the little boy for his brave act. He had saved the whole village from ruin. They took him on their shoulders and walked back to the village. Peter's mother rushed out of the house to meet him. She took Peter in her arms and cried, "My darling, my darling." Peter's bravery became the talk of the town. Let's follow his example and be brave.